Greetings from Mobility Outlook and welcome to Women in Mobility. Our guest for today is Hemalatha J. She is an accomplished professional in the mobility industry. Hemalatha is not only an electrical and electronics engineer, but also holds a master's degree in business administration and a graduate diploma in materials management. With over 23 years of industrial experience, she has made significant contributions to the field of purchasing, supply chain, and logistics. She currently serves as the Senior General Manager, Purchase at the Motor Division of Sona BLW Precision Forgings Limited. We are honored to have Hemalatha with us today. Please join me in welcoming Hemalatha to the show. Hemalatha, welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks so much for your time. So, of all the trades or the divisions in the manufacturing industry, what made you to choose procurement as your career?
I think I need to start the story from my childhood days, how it happened. So I'm born and brought up in Chennai. I did all my schooling, colleges in Chennai. The selection criteria was always proximity. So that's how my journey of education started. And I'm the first graduate in the family, the lady to go to college and get the professional degree in engineering. And but if I look at my childhood aspiration, it was always becoming a lawyer. By watching a lot of court scenes in the movies, I had that aspiration. And but later on, when I grew up in the ladder, in the high school, higher secondary, I started liking mathematics. So I started focusing on engineering as my first priority and mathematics as a plan B. So if at all I'm not able to get through in engineering, I will become a maths professor. So that was how the plan I had as a child I always had. So after my engineering, I was very particular about not to join IT and take up something only in manufacturing sector. I was almost all my classmates, all my friends, they were all doing outside engineering courses, IT courses, and they all got into IT. Having decided I will be in manufacturing sector, how? I didn't know, but I had that. I was so determined that I will get into that. And the first opportunity came from a granite company, again applying through paper. So granite company gave me an opportunity to work in a purchasing function. It's a very small company. I had to travel to Ennur factory. Kothari Granite is the last factory in the Ennur. 3 days to Ennur factory and 3 days to the office in Kilpark Garden. And that is where I learned there is a function called purchasing.
Okay.
So that is how the purchasing word got attached to me, I would say. Then I really wanted to learn what is purchasing. Then every weekend, I went to Kanimara Library. I started reading books about purchasing. It really got me so much of interest into it. And I started implementing small things, small processes, check sheets in the routine, daily routines. And then I made up my mind, okay, this is going to be the function. And then after a year, I thought of, okay, what next? Let me explore another manufacturing sector. So with 1 year experience, I applied looking at the newspaper. Rane Madras was looking for an experienced buyer. But I hardly had 1 year, but still I applied. And surprisingly, I got a call to join, for an interview.
Wow. So you came to automotive then?
Automotive, first company, first interview. And after all the interview, then I am thankful to the corporate GM Materials, Mr. Ramchandran, and the corporate GM HR, Mr. Johnson Andrews. So both of them came to me and said, okay, Hema, we have prepared ourselves to give you an opportunity. But we are going to experiment you as a first lady GET in purchasing in the Rane Madras Velachery plant. So that is exactly they said.
Okay.
But I was again particular and asking at that point, they were all so seniors. I said, okay, but I am interested to get into direct materials. Because in granite company, I was handling more of indirect, diamond cutting tools, all kind of stuff. And here I wanted to start with direct materials, and they gave me that opportunity. So that's how my journey in the purchasing in automotive started.
Okay. So then you moved on to the next level? How did you?
There are a lot of memories, I would say. The strong foundation I had in Rane. But I faced two major challenges in Rane Madras because the first lady, graduate engineer trainee, there were hardly any ladies there, two were secretaries and one madam in the chemical lab. So I was the only girl in the whole company wearing a colored dress in the mid of all, men wearing uniform.
Okay.
So, because they were not prepared to design a uniform for one single girl. One challenge is they never had a female colleague in the department. And many could not accept a woman as a colleague, I would say. So how did I overcome is, like, when I go and talk to them, they will not talk to me. When I ask something, they will not reply. But I will not leave there. I had my style is, I will again and again, I'll go and talk to them because it's all about work. So that is one challenge I had, and in a year, I made sure I talk to everybody talks to me. So starting from security officer until the president, I will talk to everyone and I'll sit next to them and have lunch. And I became the member in almost all department. So that is the one challenge. That is how I overcome the first challenge. The second challenge is I'm basically an electrical electronics engineer, but I'm getting into hardcore mechanical. That time I never knew about forgings, castings, machine components. Even I was not familiar to read drawings also. I faced criticism, some embarrassing moments, but I used to tell everyone, okay, I'm not a mechanical engineer, but I will learn. I learned everything starting from, incoming inspection, the processes, the whole thing. And thanks to the supply base, where I learned more than in-house, I learned most of the things in the supplier manufacturing process. So I used to visit many suppliers, and suppliers used to teach me a lot about the forging, machining. So that is how, I could get through the process as a purchaser in Rane Madras. So 2 years journey in Rane Madras, from graduate engineer trainee to senior engineer. Then a wonderful opportunity given by the GM operations, Mr. Ratnavelu. He had so much of confidence on me than me, I would say. So he gave me a lot of responsibilities to handle one vertical. He gave me a team with only 2 years experience. He gave me a team to lead a vertical. So I used to tell him, having given me so much of responsibilities, I will never let you down. I will prove it and then I leave the company.
Okay.
So I proved, and then I wanted to take up a new opportunity because I wanted to explore another company in a completely new environment. So later on, I got an opportunity in TAFE, the tractor division. So one Mr. N.S. Swaminathan used to be the very senior person there, heading the quality for the tractor division. He was also heading a project for the international market. So I was the first lady again to work under him. So it was a wonderful journey. I got so fascinated towards the tractors. So I started a deep learning there, I would say. So there I was looking after tractor parts, sourcing, negotiation. But it's a unique role where I have to handle suppliers and also customers. That was very unique. So far, I never had an interaction with customers, but there I could enhance my capability in handling export customers. So UK-based customers, Brazil-based customers, that was a different thing altogether, that different experience altogether. And I drove a tractor in one of a training program. So the deep learning on hydraulic systems, engine module, transmission module started. And in the middle, a big opportunity came again from Mr. NSS. One day he called me and said, hey Ma, I wanted to put you as a lead for a Brazil project where you have to you will be traveling very frequently between India and Brazil. And you are going to handle a Brazil-based tractor parts and tractor export project. Though it was a big opportunity, I said I need time. So after 2 days, I went back because I had a career plan. To be precise, when I joined as a GET in Rane, I made up my mind, I will build my career in purchasing. But I should set a target where I want to be there. My only target was my GM Metals position.
Okay.
That was the number one position in purchasing, and I was the junior most in the department. So from there, the aspiration started. So I always mapped what are the things that he is handling at that point of time. So he was handling so many verticals. So I planned I will learn every vertical. So that is how I was asking for the role in FA.
Okay.
So I wanted to build a strong domain, myself very strong in one domain, I would say. So purchasing domain, I will not say master, but I will make it as my main domain. So 2 days back, I went to him, and he was a senior person, I was a junior most person, but I always had that liberty to talk to him very freely, thanks to him now. And I explained my career planning. I was explaining him, this is how I wanted to be, and it's a very young age for me to handle 2 different functions, and please allow me to focus on this.
What you do?
He was so receptive. And he said, okay, I understand your plan. I'm also happy that you have a plan. Keep moving. So I recall.
So you were comfortable there.
Then it was a wonderful journey, but I felt I'm into a comfort zone. So how to come out of that comfort zone? At a young age, I think I need to learn more.
So what made you to move out of the comfort zone?
Then one opportunity from Vistion Electronics came. That is again the hardcore purchasing. So we're looking at the role. I thought, okay, this is the next move I have to do to strengthen my domain. Again, as per my planning. Nobody would have thought I had a plan.
Okay.
I'm sure nobody would have thought. So when I got an opportunity to attend an interview in Vistion Electronics, Mr. Satmohan was the purchasing director at that time. So he gave me an opportunity, and I was again the first lady in the whole purchasing group under him. Again, I still remember before accepting that offer, I was asking for the role clarity. Is that completely got to do with sourcing, costing, hands-on development? He said yes. Because as an individual, I always focus more on the role.
Okay.
Once I'm convinced with the role, then I will talk about the rest. That's my style until now, with organizations I've worked. So that is how the journey started in Vistion Electronics.
Then how did you enhance your capabilities to match to those requirements?
When I joined Vistion Electronics, that point of time, it was a small revenue generating division, the whole site. And I was the only buyer. So from a buyer, in the 8 years, I became the India purchasing it with a very strong team and globally known person. And thanks to Vistion Electronics, it gave me a lot of opportunities to learn. Multicultural environment, international exposure, the confidence I built in myself, and then the skill set I acquired. I'm so grateful to that organization. But having reached 8 years in India purchasing position, and I know I am also identified as a future leader. I was enrolled in the elite leadership team, coaching. Somehow I felt it's all known challenges. So the challenges also is known. I know today I'm handling a Hyundai project, tomorrow this kind of project, the similar products. Somehow I felt I'm getting into the challenges, the comfort zone of challenges, known challenges. I don't know whether I'm expressing it in a right way. Then I thought, and the weird thought came, let me take up something in a completely different environment.
Okay.
Different product, different process, a different culture, different set of people. Why not? That thought process came. Then I kept my options open. Then a wonderful opportunity from a non-auto company, a German-based company called Arstal came to me. I would like to recall the one, Mr. Johnson Andrews, who gave me the opportunity as a lady GET. He got retired and he was having his own consultancy and he was hiring for that company.
Okay.
So then I went for the interview the role was very interesting. The role was very interesting. At least 2-3 calls, very depth calls, I would say, only on the role. And I was very particular. I will expand my horizon this time. Not only one particular vertical in purchasing. So this opportunity opened up for me to handle the entire purchasing. Direct materials, indirect materials, even indirect strategic sourcing, the regular materials, then planning, metal planning, logistics, imports, exports, customs. I saw a full circle of supply chain. I thoroughly enjoyed the journey. And thanks to the organization who gave me free hand to implement whatever I've learned in automotive, because that's a non-automotive company.
Yeah.
So whatever the automotive way of working, the process, systems, controls, and then the way of representing the purchasing data, be it a dashboard, tracking and reporting, anything that matters. I gave a complete automotive touch,
Okay.
which I liked. Which I'm sure they liked it a lot. Many of the things were read across by the group for other companies as well. So I decided only for 5 years. Again, it was a plan. I made it as a point. I will sign up for 5 years. I didn't say that, but I made up my mind. So 5 years, whatever they gave me as a target was done. The assignment is over in 5 years. Now what next? I kept my options open. A new set of challenges. I was keeping myself open for it.
Open for challenges.
Open for new set of challenges, I would say. Then Sonacom sir, motor division. Thanks to my boss, who is the CEO, Mr. Vaidyanathan. Casually, he gave me a call one day and said, "Why don't you come for a chat? Let's have a chat along with Mr. Satmo, who is the CEO of the motor division." It was not a formal interview, I would say, because they said they are looking for a person. I said, I'm open for a role. So again, the discussion went only on the role. And they gave me an outlook of their company's future. They were focusing more on EV. They're focusing on new technology. So the interesting portion was new things, new set of challenges. Again, except both of them, I don't know anyone that point of time in the organization. For me, it is a completely new environment. So when I got convinced with the role, I signed up. So today I'm heading the purchasing division for the whole motor division, and almost 3 years completed and the journey is continuing.
Oh, that was interesting. Oh, but in your professional career, you must have met a lot of tier 1 companies, tier 2 OEMs, raw material suppliers, etc. in the automotive ecosystem where everything is male dominated. What were the challenges, and can you share some experience?
Yes, it is male dominated. Okay, even now I would say, but in those days it was more. The one challenge is be it internal team or the suppliers. When I started, they've never had a lady buyer, so it is applicable for the supplier side also for the internal side. I always faced underestimation, more assumptions about a female, perceptions. I've crossed all those things. To be more precise, a female cannot understand technicalities. A female cannot handle pressure. A female can't decide things right. So there is many perceptions which I've come across. And I used to overcome that only by focusing on my performance. I strongly believe demonstrating by actions and delivering results is going to be the only way to answer all of them. And until now, I'm happy to say, and I'm proud to say, in all the organizations, I stood only by my performance.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. What do you think of diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Gender diversity, equality, inclusiveness. For me, it should not be a buzzword. It should not be a fashion statement. Okay, it's good to know that corporates are talking about it, companies are mentioning about it. There is a need. It needs to be communicated as a top-driven approach. The commitment should be from the top. And as a person, when I see, many companies talk about this, having worked in the companies where our own leaders talk about it, and companies where other leaders outside a company talk about it, who try to implement it. Two things, I may be wrong, but this is my assessment, I would say. One, what are the two things that as a company they are missing to focus? One, having decided by the top management about the diversified workforce, bringing more female into the middle management, into employment. They are forgetting that their senior management, middle management, who are all the male leaders, who are going to handle those female workers or female employees, are equipped enough to handle them. First of all, the change they have to buy in. Otherwise, it is going to be not a smooth sailing for the female employee and the male manager. So that is one gap I personally feel there is there. Second, there's no difference on the workforce when it comes to an employment. Because we, as an Indian, we still talk about male, female. But if you see many companies, developed countries, there's no male, female. Both are given equal opportunity. In China, the workforce mostly is women. But here, we still talk about it. And the only difference is the biological difference, which needs to be respected. Always wearing a man's cap and then preparing the procedures, SOPs, rules and regulations for female is not going to work.
Okay.
That is also something I personally feel. These are the two things the organization has to look at it, though they are committed to bring a diversified workforce.
Do you see women should also come forward to break this kind of a myth?
See, women in our country, I would say, wants to come and work in manufacturing industries. But most of the times they get settled as a workforce. Maybe that is becoming more apt, like the workforce kind of culture where they produce as per norms, applicable rules for the workforce, all such kind of stuff. But there are some aspirations in women to come in the middle management, senior management. But as a female, whether I like it or not, this is a fact. A female has to put 300% effort.
Oh.
Even to get a small recognition, appreciation in a male-dominated manufacturing industry. So every time that effort, every time you will have to be more, hardworking. That tenacity is there, but sometimes they quit. And the second thing is, when you are hiring a woman, we also need to accept the nature thing. Pre-maternity, post-maternity. Then the biological issues they undergo.
Yeah.
I don't think that is given, those things are not considered as an important factor. So once, this is again real-time examples I'm seeing. People, once they come back from the maternity leave, whether they are getting to the same position or they are getting the same, importance, roles, that is a big lacuna there. Maybe that could be one of the reasons we are seeing more dropouts in the middle management, and there is a more gap in the senior management. And as the pyramid, goes to the top, we see very little percentage.
Okay, great. What do you want to tell the Gen Z and female Gen Z and millennials?
See, to all young girls and young women, I've got only two things to say. One, always wear a never give up attitude and what next attitude. There will be circumstances which will pull you down. It may be interim, something may be prolonging. Don't get bogged down by all those things. And always have an attitude, what next? Bounce back. And second thing is, I would say boldness and self-confidence. every woman should possess. Be bold. Be bold to express your views. Express your, points. Boldness is something, which will only make you to survive. And self-confidence, always boost your self-confidence. Never give up your confidence. And look for options to increase and boost your confidence. For me, it's your life, and there is only one life.
Great, great, very well put it. How do you spend your leisure time?
My hobbies, reading books. I used to read a lot of motivational and inspiring books. Robin Sharma, Thought Process. And I used to listen to my favorite Solvendra Sugisivam. I used to follow his speeches. And I love to watch talk shows, even political debates. And also I am a big movie buff. I watch a lot of movies in all languages because more than entertainment, I see every movie is someone's creativity. And I thoroughly enjoy it if the creativity is to my expected level.
Great, great. Hemalatha, wonderful talking to you. Thank you for being part of Women
Thank you
in Mobility.
so much. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.